What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're at Lincoln Memorial trying out a build. I've got no armor, let's get that sorted out. We've got heroic, we've got a few directives on. I'm just going to try this build out. Now this gun, you can run this with any gun you want really. The Ouroboros, the St. Elmo, you just rearrange a few stats to get yourself there. I really just wanted to see how effective this build was going to be against killing multiple enemies at once, really. He sneaked out.
Eyes on that movement.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the
And
memorial
so far,
compound.
so good. We saw some really nice numbers there. We got a lot of survivability in there. That was pretty crazy. And really, the idea is with this build is just to make, you know, any of these heroic missions an absolute walk in the park. And it really is. This is an absolute doddle. We're getting buffs galore. We're getting armor galore. And we've got some really, really good damage as well.
That's right. Report done.
It does help that we know the spawn points, and we've run this mission, what now, 5 million times. But even then, we took an explosion on an all red build, and we are still very much alive and kicking. Where did he go?
Vital signs critical.
He says, need an armor pack.
Damn, healing already? Engaging!
I was gonna say, there's no way we didn't bust his backpack then. Absolutely no way.
All clear.
This is rock and roll at its finest. I absolutely love it. Let's get back to the base of operations and go over the build. Thank you for all your support in following your channel, or following my channel recently. You can tell it's early in the morning. But thank you so much for following the channel, all the support, all the new subs. You are all absolutely legendary. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget though, you can also come and check me out on the live channels as well. I'm live on YouTube, Kick, and on Twitch. With all that said though, let's get into it. We're going to take Firewall, SMG damage for this. I'm using the Ouroboros, but if you're using the St. Elmo with this build to spec into assault rifle damage, that works as well. One other thing you could take with this is Gunner to get some extra armor on kill to stack onto that survivability, and then you get some extra rate of fire as well. Totally up to you. Both work absolutely brilliant. And this is going to be the build. Now, this is a tricky piece to get. This is the Liquid Engineer. I don't have the blueprint from Descent. I've not been lucky enough. I would love an all-red version of this. But we are running 2-piece Bellstone so that we get armor regen and 10% armor on kill. We've got headshot damage, critical hit damage, and critical hit damage in here. This headshot damage would be critical hit chance if you were running the St. Elmo. Because we're running an SMG, we hit that cap really, really easy. We're actually at 62% critical hit chance on this build. The 2% is absolutely wasted. I just don't have a chest piece that has critical hit damage and headshot damage on. Otherwise, I would switch to that. Perfect Bloodsucker. Killing an enemy adds and refreshes a stack of 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Really, really nice. You saw that survivability. It's great. Chest piece is the second one. We got crit chance, crit hit damage, and crit hit damage in the mod slot. Weapon damage because we've rolled the core attribute, giving us that 2-piece Bellstone bonus we were talking about earlier on with Obliterate. And then we're just going to run 3-piece Negotiators Dilemma. giving us crit chance and crit damage for the bonuses here on the gear set, making it really easy to hit that crit chance cap. And then we get the hostile negotiations, where critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 marks. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all the marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever you mark an enemy and it dies, you get 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times or until combat ends, giving you a huge amount of extra critical hit damage. What you've got to get used to is tagging one and just believing that you can move on. It's a little bit of a gameplay loop to get used to, but it's really, really nice. Weapon damage, crit hit damage here on the mask. Gloves, weapon damage, critical hit damage. Knees, weapon damage, critical hit damage. And holster, weapon damage, critical hit damage. I'm not completely optimized here. I've run out of materials because I do so many build videos, but you get the idea that this thing absolutely slays. Now, if you're running firewall, I would recommend running the shield for the extra damage. But if you're running perhaps with the machine gun, you could, with the minigun, with gunner, you could perhaps run the banshee pulse instead, and that's really, really good. Or you could run gunner and just run the regular shield, just whatever your own playstyle is going to be. Revive hive next, it just makes sense, especially if you're going to be playing on your own. Offhand weapons can be whatever you want. I do like to take a sledgehammer pistol with me wherever I go. And then if we're looking at the stats, we're at 60% crit chance, 183% critical hit damage with the bonus from negotiators to come as well, and 80% headshot damage. It's such a really nice build just for general day-to-day content, making things really, really easy. Definitely worth putting some kind of negotiators build together just for breezing through heroic content or when leagues come up or anything like that. That's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, agents, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye bye.